Oops, it started going. Sorry. This is welcome to my twin flame journey. I am Shine, and this is going to be the April reading for twin flames and soulmates that are currently in separation. Um, I again switch things up a little bit. Like to keep things fresh. What we have here is the overview for the month. Oh, let me finish. I didn't do my spiel. Sorry. Please keep in mind that the readings are general, so take what resonates and leave the rest. Also, keep in mind that masculine and feminine stand more for energy instead of gender. So, again, whatever side resonates with you, that is your message. And you can also flip from one side to the other. Um, Depends on what and the energy that's more in the forefront that you're embodying at the time. If you'd like a personal reading, all the information is below. And now we can get into the thing. This is the overview for the month. This is Spirit's advice in regards to it. This is what the masculine is thinking. This is what the masculine is feeling. This is what the masculine, this is what's needed for the masculine in order to, move forward or to reunite. This is what they need. This is how the masculine sees the feminine. Same thing for this side. How the feminine thinks, feels, what is needed for her, how she views the masculine. And then I have here advice for the both of you for the month. A nice roomy oracle, which always gives a good message. And then we'll clarify. And of course, because I'm still incorporating the reversals, I might have to refer to my notes because I don't want to miss out on any potential things that might be relatable to what's going on here, because it's a lot to remember. So let us look at what's going on for the month. We have the Ten of Swords in the reverse. We have the Nine of Pentacles. We have the Hangman. And then we have Temperance in reverse. And obviously Temperance in reverse is being all out of whack. Within ourselves, Hangman is, needing to see stuff from different perspectives. The Nine of Pentacles basically is about, becoming independent within ourselves, getting our stuff together, finding our happiness because we are self-sufficient, self-reliant. And Ten of Swords, in the reverse is, coming out of heartache, the end of a difficult situation. Again, finding our independence, seeing things differently, getting ourselves in check. Now I will get more into detail here. Ten of Swords in reverse, again, is recovery, regeneration, fear of ruin, pain that must occur for growth and regeneration, mental transformation, a re-evaluation and elimination of previous attitudes and what's important. Again, it's like re-evaluating things. I kind of touched on this in the weekly, which turned out to be a much longer reading than I thought. That's why for this one, I said, let me just dwindle it down because the weekly reading came out to be like an hour. And I didn't want that to be that long. I thought it would be for the month would be that long. But it kind of touched base. I think this card appeared in the weekly as well. I think it was just for the masculine. I don't remember. But it is to put an end to the pain. Put an end to this cycle. Again, it's about reevaluating ourselves, coming into those realizations about ourselves and what needs to change, what needs to go, behaviors that we've used as defense mechanisms that we've realized don't work, especially in regards to with the feminine. If she's coming into her awakening, she's not going to enable you and your stuff anymore. You're going to have to step up if you want to reconcile. Can't keep sweeping things under the rug, can't try to downplay things that you did or whatever so you don't look as bad or so that you don't have to hold yourself accountable, because again, it turned this side off. It made them not want to bother to reinvest or because, the communication, there was nothing moving. Again, they were just being met with the same old, and the same old is old, is tired, it's got to go. And masculine's been realizing that, and even the feminine, because the feminine wants happiness too. Everybody wants to be happy and healed and move forward and stuff. Nobody wants to stay stuck. Nobody wants to be in repeated cycles. Nobody wants to keep, you know, dealing with the same thing over and over and over. It's draining. It's draining. It doesn't move things in a positive direction. It sucks the life out of you. And people want to move on. People want to move onwards and upwards and become better and have better. And they don't want to be dragged back down into the mud. So if this side is wanting to reconcile, you got to step it up. So again, reevaluation and elimination of previous attitudes and what's important, resisting an inevitable ending, fear of pain, thinking worst case scenarios, creating fear and anxiety, still carrying the wounds from an old situation buried deep within, unrealized thing. Again, I mean, that's why this hangman is here, is people still need to dig deep, stop looking for scapegoats. Hold ourselves accountable for our own choices, our own actions, and where we are in life. And it's mostly because of our choices, again, and our choices stem from our beliefs, and our beliefs stem from our conditioning, and our conditioning stems from childhood. Again, it's all psychology, it's all spirituality, and it's coming into that awareness that your life, your journey, your things that have happened so far, it was karma, it was fate, and again, it was our own bad choices stemming from our poor upbringing, or what love looked like to us as children, how we feel about ourselves, all of that stuff. And it's like no more putting on the blinders. It's needing to really take a look at where it all, the root of it all. Because if you don't pull out the weed from the root, the weeds are going to keep popping up. It's again a need to deal with what needs to be dealt with, including ourselves. No more even lying to ourselves, making excuses for things we do, ends justifying means, especially those that are entering into codependent situations, having voids filled and needs met, because again, that's deceptive. It's not fair to the other person. It's not fair to you, because you're sabotaging your own growth. You're again looking for other people to pacify wounds that you need to heal yourself, so that you can enter into relationships from a whole perspective, not a broken one, not looking for someone else to fill those things for you. Again, because that's karma. So it's again needing to do that, needing to gain again our own independence, fruitful accomplishments of your own desires, your intellectual and spiritual self-control, a sense of peace, satisfaction, and fulfillment, a creative venture or personal investment that offers a more permanent, lasting achievement as a result of one's own efforts. And of course, the biggest effort is the effort that we put into ourself, our own self-improvement. That includes digging in that closet and getting rid of those skeletons and pulling up those weeds, or whatever it is that we need to do. That self-reflecting, that self-healing. Start making moves, because it goes deeper than whatever it is, however you've been looking at things so far. It is a deeper meaning, and it's within you. You got to find that gem so that you can reach the Nine of Pentacles. Reaching a point in life and feeling self-confident, self-sufficient, and independent and free. Well-deserved success attained by your own accord. Again, not entering into ready-made situations where stuff is provided for you, because that is stunting your growth. Because in comfort zones, nothing grows. And if you've got all your needs being met and provided from other sources, you're selling yourself short, because you're not accomplishing those things on your own. And you want to feel this way. You don't want to feel dependent, because if that relationship ends, then shit, I got to scramble and try to find another situation for myself again, looking to enter into it just so that person, you have a maid, a cook, a person to handle the finances or to pay your way when you can't, and maybe you don't feel like you even put in the effort to do that because again it's already being provided for. So again it's that comfort zone, but you're not growing in it. And it's again that realizing that something's got to change. We got to find our own light. We got to make our own mark in the world. And it's success that you get through your own achievements, not through somebody else's. How you can enjoy your money, your leisure time, pleasure, material comfort, and success, knowing you can achieve through hard work and commitment. And know that you're close to achieving your goal. You just got to rip that Band-Aid off. You got to dig deep. You got to make those moves and put in that effort and not be sitting in the woes. Shoulda, woulda, couldas, or the fears and anxieties and worst case scenarios. And that way you're not even doing nothing because you're thinking the worst. See things from a different perspective. Again, like the Hangman here. It's spiritual attainment. It's surrender. Being suspended in time. It's, sacrificing for the greater good. That means if we got to let go of some stuff because it's for our own betterment, no matter how scary it is, it's got to be done. It's meditation on how to break old patterns of behavior. Again, bad habits that restrict you. It's careful planning and orderly growth leading to spiritual development. It's a period of also indecision or a time needed to, again, reflect on things, self-reflecting. It's feeling also stuck or restricted. It's letting go, accepting and surrendering. And accepting sometimes falls into the category of accepting the truth and not, again, trying to hide behind excuses or blaming other things. It's the truth of who we are and how we operate, how we maneuver in the world. Do we use people as ends to a means? Do we lie? Are we deceptive? Are we codependent? Are we broken in some? It's a needing to assess oneself, to free yourself. Letting go of worries. It's like, it would be like a rebirth, letting go of this burden of wearing a mask throughout life. It's you finding again your independence, your spiritual enlightenment, your healing. And of course, like I mentioned here, all upside down. It's about imbalance, lack of long-term vision. Again, thinking worst case scenarios, and you're not even sure if that's what's going to happen, but you're projecting it, and that's keeping you stagnant. But you're needing to reassess that and dig deep so that you can think of long term, what's better for you in the long term. It's about being out of balance or in conflict, creating stress and tension. And if you continue to follow this certain path, it will perpetuate this. Again, it will just keep you stuck. It's impatience, hasty action. Again, a lack of long-term vision and purpose needed for reflection. It's a need to leave the past and embrace the future, including our old ways of being that don't work. Embrace the new you, or make steps towards that. Competing interests, being uncooperative. Like again, if you're being stubborn and stuck in your ways, still trying to be, but it ain't working, it's a need to release that. It's role reversal, dominant and submissive. It's like someone who's controlling, trying to control things out of fear. It's a need to release that, to submit to freedom, seeing things from a different perspective, healing oneself, looking within, yada, 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 yada. And Spirit's advice for you is no, And I said, well, what's no? They try to tell you, no, don't be like that. Look for a sign. And my thing keeps shutting off. Look for a sign. Like, don't sit in the woes. Don't give up hope. No. Look for a sign. Your angels have a very special and specific answer to your question. You can expect to see signs right away that will help have deep meaning for you. Many people see white feathers to indicate that their angels are with them, or they may smell scents from their childhood that they connect with a family member. Signs require focused attention, so be awake to the possibilities. Don't mistake synchronistic events for mere coincidences at this time. They are a message especially designed for you. So again, if you've been getting repeated signs, it's time to pay heed, especially if it's things that are trying to draw you attention to you. Because, again, denial isn't just a river in Egypt. And it is not serving us. Now, what the masculine is thinking. Barrier. Peace. Frustration. Clarity. Trying to gain clarity. Trying to figure stuff out. Feeling frustrated. Because, again, that frustration mostly comes from the struggling to hold on to, again, our old ways that don't work. And it's that fear. So if things aren't progressing, things ain't moving forward, that's because you're not changing. You're not doing anything that's enough to change things. Especially, again, there's been people that haven't been talking, again, afraid to open up, all that stuff. So if you're frustrated, it's probably got a lot to do with what you're doing. How can you change that? You got to gain some clarity. If you want there to be peace, if you want to overcome this barrier, you got to figure out, well, what can I do in order to change that? And that comes from honesty, being honest with ourselves about who we are, things that we've done, holding ourselves accountable, opening up, letting go of fear, looking in the mirror, accepting things for the way that they are, the way they have been, and be willing to put in efforts to change things, to change ourselves. It's, again, learning to get out of our own way. Stop self-sabotaging ourselves, stop sabotaging our relationships, all to hold on to this false self, this false image, this false story that we've been telling ourselves to make excuses for why things are the way they are. Because, again, it stems from your own choices, your own actions. And as I said before, those are stem from your beliefs. Your beliefs are stem from your conditioning. Your conditioning stems from your childhood, from the ages of 3 to 16. In those growing years, whatever you endured, that helped to mold your way of thinking, your way of coping, your way of navigating in the world. Like I said, and many people don't even look at that stuff. And they spend their whole lives messing up, losing relationships, and again, because they're not looking at the source, the root of it all. And sometimes that comes through having to go through therapy. Sometimes that comes from hitting rock bottom, when you got nowhere else to go. You've gotten as low as you can get. So now you have no other choice but to look within and find your light, find the truth, accept things, even about ourselves, that we don't want to accept. And be willing to love ourselves enough, give ourselves the love that we possibly did not get as children. Be what you didn't have. Be your own hero. Be your own friend. Love yourself. Love yourself enough to free yourself, to have your independence. Again, pull up those weeds. Now, let's do some clarifying. I was saying, after I did the weekly one, and I was saying to Spirit, I was laying out the cards. I'm like, oh, I'm so tired of this storyline. I feel like I repeat the same messages for months, for weeks. But that's, of course, you might be dealing with different groups of people. all going through similar lessons, or it could be the same people that are still stuck. They could be stuck for years. You can get people that stuck for 20, 30 years before they finally wake up and whatever. But I keep saying, my gosh, I wish I can get some better stuff. I feel like I'm always delivering these heavy messages. And I'm just like, I'm trying to give hope. I'm trying to show, but a lot of people, again, they're not realizing it stems from psychology, childhood wounding, and I keep giving these messages and it might be too deep. I don't know. Well, it is what it is. Like I says, I'm not going to. I see some twin flame readers. It's always wrapped up in a pretty bow. Your love is always coming, and things are always going to work out. And they don't talk about nobody's dysfunctions and nobody's code. Everything's all pretty, and life isn't pretty. And these relationships sure as hell aren't pretty. Soulmates, especially karmic soulmates, because again, they're brought to you to teach you something, and usually that's a painful experience. Twin flames for sure, because they're mirrors bringing up all the stuff that we don't want to look at and that we run from. That's why you get the runner and the chaser, and they keep entering into the same things, repeating the same things with different people because they haven't learned that the problem is them. But this is what this journey is about. It's about the journey back to self, about self-love, self-respect, healing at the end of the day. So if these messages seem heavy, or they always seem to be talking about childhood wounds, that's because it is what it is. And I don't sugarcoat stuff, and I'm not going to put pretty bows on stuff because it isn't pretty. My situation wasn't pretty, and obviously everybody else's situation isn't pretty, and I wouldn't be doing you any justice if I was always making things sound all happy and whatever. Because obviously there are things within us that we need to figure out, and that we might not realize, and hopefully maybe these readings kind of bring those things up, and that helps you in your healing. So I won't apologize. I just wish things would be a little lighter. But it is what it is. It is what it is. And I seem to be that reader chosen to deliver the messages based similar to my own experience, because I've can empathize, because I've been there, done that, and got the t-shirt. So maybe that's why I'm in a position to offer the insights that I do. But if it goes deep, it's meant to go deep. I'm going for the roots. I'm called the weed whacker. Time to pull those weeds out. Okay, let's get back to it. Barrier. Let's see, what's the barrier? What's the barrier? Okay, as I said, don't shoot the messenger. Barrier. What's the saying? When the student is ready, the teacher appears. Barrier is communication. La lettera. This is usually the love letter or expressing of emotions. It could also stand for, a business letter or some kind of contract, thinking of like divorce papers too, like that could be a barrier. But let's see what else we get here. People might need to be divorcing their codependent things, who knows. But it could just be the barrier is, communication, which was the barrier, which was the message for the weekly. Communicate clearly. Express oneself. Barrier. L'amica. The friend, the confidant, someone who we can depend on, someone who's reliable, someone who we consider to be our best friend, our rock. And then we have Kaza in the reverse. Kaza is about our home life, or a person that we want to build a home with, or that we feel at home with. So for some masculines, the barrier for them is being able to communicate with this person who they consider to be their best friend. And they're unsure about, and perhaps, there was an obviously an unhappy home situation if you're separated. But there's an uncertainty in regards to repairing a home life or if you can live together again or whatever. But that stems from obviously people are not digging deep. People are refusing to still hold themselves accountable. People are still refusing to admit to their lies. People, whatever. And so you really, it's just you're keeping yourself stuck. You're keeping that barrier. You created that barrier because you're not communicating correctly. Again, you're still trying to hold on to old ways of being, and it ain't gonna work. And if you want that causa to turn around, you better change your approach, and that stems from self-reflection and honesty, because lies will get you nowhere. Let me tell you, people don't want to deal with liars. People don't want to open themselves up again to people they know they can't trust. Nobody's trying to set themselves up to be hurt again. So if you've been approaching it the same way you've always been, you got to check yourself and change, or you have no chance, especially with somebody who's awake, because they're not going to, why go back to something with somebody they know is incapable of that? Should something come up in the future again, they're going to behave the same way, lie, deflect, sweep things under the rug. It's like, that's not mature. That's not someone that's reliable. That's not somebody that you feel safe with. Nobody wants to repeat karmic cycles. You know what I'm saying? So that's the barrier. Causa in reverse. Uncomfortable home or environment, family disharmony. So again, there's disharmony. And a lot of masculines could be at a distance. I know that's come up a lot too. A lot of people are fearful of leaving their current codependent situation. And when this side was trying to reconcile with them, their approach was still the same old. So this person got tired of it and backed off. So now they're kind of feeling like, well, geez, now I'm stuck in my situation, even though I really want to be over here. But that's because, again, you shot yourself in the foot. So there's the barrier. And the barrier is you. Peace. Peace. No hope. This was in reverse. Viaggio, this is traveling, movement forward. So again, like I mentioned, some people could be at a distance. So if they were hoping to have this side just say, hey, yeah, come on back. You know, come back, we'll live together again, whatever. So now they're feeling there's no hope. There's no hope to live together again. There's no hope for traveling, to leave their current situation or to move forward. You know, this is in peace. You know, so they're thinking that they want peace, you know, because of this. They want to remove this barrier, you know, and this is the cause of the barrier. We have conversation again in the reverse because there's nobody talking. No communication. People are needing to open up, be accountable, show genuine remorse, show genuine growth, show that you're worth investing in again. Give somebody something to go on, because if, again, nobody wants to deal with people that lie, that cheat, that don't hold themselves accountable should they get caught in their actions. Nobody got time for that. And we got Sacerdote, spiritual guidance, healing. This also deals with psychological issues. And like I said, a lot of people need to go to therapy and deal with healing themselves because it's wreaking havoc in their lives and in their relationships. So, you know, they may feel there's a soulmate connection. They may feel they want things to heal or whatever. But again, they're refusing to look at themselves as a problem. Like I said, it takes two to tango. Everybody's got their stuff. But for a lot of masculines that have been showing up as liars, deceivers, entering into things for codependent reasons, you're a person that can't be trusted. You're a person who's moochy. You're a person who, you know, doesn't have drive or focus or believe in themselves or push themselves, or so you mooch on to other people for your survival. And again, this is, and in the way you engage with people, it's a turnoff. You know, so it's, again, this need to wake up and smell the coffee If you want things to really change, and this is even regardless of whether you get together with this person or leave, it's for you. And I say this all the time. This is your journey, your life, your healing. It's you. It always comes down to you and your love and your respect for yourself. Find your light, honey. Find your light and let that guide you out of your darkness. No one is going to save you but yourself. You can have people to pacify your wounds, to fill the voids and meet the needs, but again, that's only temporary and it's only a band-aid. You got to rip that band-aid off and allow that wound to truly heal by acknowledging the source, the root of it all, and why you keep entering into things with different people, but it's the same scenarios. And that's because that's what you keep attracting into your life, because it's you that needs to heal. Otherwise, it's just, and then you'll spend your whole life blaming the world for how your life turned out, instead of looking at it was because it was me and my choices and my behaviors. So at the end of the day, we got no one to blame for ourselves. Ooh, and then we got this one. Grand Signore in the reverse. This is somebody that is, again, could be narcissistic, emotionally manipulative, verbally abusive, mentally abusive, financially abusive, if they're in codependent relationships, only entered into them again to have needs met, pretending that they love the person, but it's really just so they didn't have to be alone because they fear being alone or abandonment issues or whatever. And they also need somebody to take care of them, somebody to take on the slack that they're not picking up themselves. Again, this is somebody who's, again, manipulative. And this behavior got to go. You can't try and heal a situation by still being like this. And it's not working anymore. And I don't mean to sound whatever. But like I said, I don't sugarcoat nothing. I tell it like it is. And sometimes you need raw truth. I don't sugarcoat. Raw truth is going to be the wake up thing. And sometimes people don't want to hear it and they'll have a negative reaction to it. But eventually you'll get it. You may have to hit rock bottom, but eventually you'll be like, my twin flame journey was right. Frustration. Frustration, Belvedere, it's to have foresight, to be able to see into the future with optimism, or it's you're looking for something. So again, maybe you're looking for the Lamika to write you, but ain't nobody gonna reach out to you if in their past interactions with you gave them no hope that you're a person again who is capable of change, of growth, who is really sorry for hurting them. Because when you hurt somebody and you're caught in lies and you've done certain things and they try to talk to you about it and you try to downplay what you did, and that's taking away from their feelings. That's showing them that their feelings don't matter, that the ends justify the means, that it's more about their reaction than your actions. And again, that's a deflection tactic, which again is used a lot with narcissists. I don't want to say this person's a narcissist, but again, if you're looking for someone else to be reaching the out, I tell you now, if you've been meeting them the same way that you've been before, making them feel unimportant, not valued, lying to cover up your lies, you're going to keep looking and you ain't going to see nothing, because people are tired, people move on, people lose interest. They don't want to invest in something that's a bad investment. Like I said, pain's our greatest teacher, and believe me, I think a lot of feminines have learned, and they're not going to go back to something unless they see genuineness. And let us see clarity. Clarity. The Wheel of Fortune, or Good Fortune, in reverse. So maybe becoming clear that things ain't working in our favor, and we keep looking for someone to keep taking us back, even though we're not showing it anything worth taking back. So it's realizing again that we need to change our approach, and that means being honest even with ourselves about the things that we don't want to acknowledge about ourselves and about our behaviors and the things that we do and how we treat people to pacify our wounds or to meet our needs or whatever reasoning or excuses that you want to put on it. If you want that thing to turn around in your favor, you got to put in some genuine work into yourself and into this relationship. Show them, talk to them, take off the mask, stop being afraid to express your feelings. Because believe me, they already know that you lie or that you have lied. And if that was the reason for things to end, so lying to cover up those lies only makes you look worse. Like I said, it's these epiphanies that the masculine is starting to have, which is good. Let's see, clarity. Idoladro, this is the thief. This is somebody, again, who's shady, who takes things from us. Somebody who could be unfaithful. Again, let's see. Idoladro. I think this is also, a financial, like a codependency of some sort. Someone who's a financial drain. Let's see, Idoladro. Or you're experiencing, or you knowing that you're financially dependent on other people, or you take people for granted so that they can pay your way. Insurmountable problem, breach of contract in hospital building, negative manifestations in the home, problematic financial situation. Again, a lot of people, it's not putting in the effort and now realizing maybe they should have, as far as, their own independence, financial independence, and kind of feeling that, needing to turn that around in order for things to get better, needing to work on that aspect of themselves, to stop being, again, codependent on others because it creates problems. And what the feminine is thinking about the masculine, they're confused. And we got the judgment here. This is, not sure what to do, not sure if there can be any reconciliation, not wanting to make wrong choice, wrong judgments, in regards to either receiving an offer or extending an offer. And then we also have wealth, which deals again with finances or say again, because people don't want to feel like they're entering into the same situation again. Or this is maybe even wondering too if wealth in the sense of abundance, if the relationship can be fruitful, worth investing in, if there's any long-term potential. Let's see, confusion. There's another one here. No hope. I'm not sure if there's any hope. trying to follow their own spiritual guidance, or unsure if there's going to be any chance to heal this situation, or if people will address their behavior patterns, again, if they got some psychological stuff going on. And we have La Vecchia Signora. This symbolizes someone from the past. This could be, a female, older female, or again, just symbolizes someone from the past, but this was in the reverse. So this is about being able to let go of past things. Again, wondering if it can be resolved, if things will change. Judgment, we have Falsita in reverse. This is about, wanting to make the right choice. This is also about lies and deception, lies coming out. Generosity, we have Morte, which is death card. And this could be like the traditional death card where, transformation can happen, rebirth, or this is complete and total detachment because we feel like there's no offers being extended, there's no honesty coming forth. Again, a feeling of they don't feel anything is possible because, again, they're not seeing any potential here based on being met with the same old in regards to this person's approach to heart-to-heart conversations, honesty, accountability, effort, true remorse, care, wanting to reconcile, whatever it is. It's like this person's been holding on to their way of being and driving this side away. And that's why this side doesn't see any kind of, that's why Spirit is saying, no, look for a sign. But again, the sign needs to come from the people involved, mostly. Let's see again. Boy, so I said I wish that these messages would change. I feel so like, I feel like I say the same thing over and over again. But it is what it is. Obviously, it's because people have still yet to get out of their own way. False cedar again. Truth revealed. Unmasking of hypocrisies. Hidden plots coming to light. The end of difficulties. This is what people are waiting for. Waiting to receive. Truth. Stop with the lies. You're not going to win back anybody's trust or favor by being deceptive. Well, I can tell you that. And what else we got here? Vecchia Signora in reverse. Past old things. Something that we already know about this person. We already know how they are. So that's why we don't see any potential, because we're not seeing anything different. It's also about wisdom. Gaining wisdom from the experience. Something that's in decline. Feeling like, again, it's dying, or it's already dead, because something that's not watered won't grow. A garden that's overridden with weeds is not going to flourish. Again, it's, relationships require tending to, care, consideration, love, thoughtfulness, giving and receiving. Without it, it's gonna die, especially if you're separated from someone. So silence, unresolved issues, time, it's killing it. If it isn't dead already, it's definitely killing it. And this is, and people are just tired of the waiting game, but they shouldn't be waiting anyway. But there was always holding out for some little hope, like, let me see something to know that there's a little bit of hope here. Yeah, abandonment, complete detachment, death, endings, breakup, imbalance, breaking, people reaching their breaking point, fear of things repeating, fear of past things repeating. That's what it says. Want to know? Not sure if they want to have this person back in their life. It's the confusion because there's no trust. There's no trust. And more than likely, this side was made to feel like they didn't matter at all because this one was too busy trying to hold on to the facade that they didn't do, what they did wasn't so bad, or possibly even pretending that their current codependent situation that they left for this one was a real relationship when they know it wasn't. It was just to have the same situation that this one was, just to have those needs met so you wouldn't be on the street or whatever it was. Yeah, so I think that's it for that. Yeah, lost hope, depression, the hope card in reverse. Yeah, no hope, depression, frustration, failure. A lot of people are just over it. The spirit is still trying to get people to hold on to hope, but again, it's the people involved that got to make the effort. You can have the cheering of the angels and the gods trying to root you on, trying to whatever, but it could take forever. It's the people that got to put in the effort, both, not one, and the other one's still trying to hold on to their way of being. It ain't working. What the masculine is feeling about the feminine, we have wedding. This situation involves marriage, worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. Pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. And playfulness, to recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. So obviously it's about them needing to pay attention to what needs to be brought to light and dealt with, paying attention to whatever their instincts or their intuition or whatever synchronicities or signs they've been receiving that's been trying to guide them to healing, guide them onto their destiny and the positive road. They know that this person is the one. They know that it was worth waiting for, but it's them needing to get themselves out of their own way. We have wedding here. You could have been married to this person. You could be married to your codependent person, and you need to get out of that. You could want to marry this person. This is also just about commitment coming together. A soul marriage. Again, if it's a soulmate, it's a life partner or a twin flame. Now, what the feminine is feeling is you deserve love. You are lovable. This is both for herself and also for the masculine. Especially if you look at things from the spiritual perspective, you want people to heal. It doesn't mean that you put up with their crap. You can love people from a distance, but they want you to know that you do deserve love. So love yourself enough to give a crap about yourself, to heal yourself. And we got here, healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. Because again, you got to go to the root. And if what love looked like to you as a child was dysfunctional, that's how you behave in relationships. That's what you keep attracting. We repeat what we see. And upon realizing that, we were able to forgive our parents or screwing us up. No, just saying. We're able to heal that wound so that we can become healed, basically. So, and it's also healing this situation. And then we have passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. They want there to be passion again. They want to follow their own passions. They want you to be passionate, follow your passions, and to stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. It's like you got to think positive. If you keep throwing out that negative stuff, it's all you're going to get. If you keep staying in your thoughts and not taking any action, you're not going to move forward. It's like you got to be optimistic about the journey ahead and not be afraid to leave behind the things that got to go anyway because they're not making you happy, right? And what does the masculine what is the what does the masculine need to do? You know, what do they need in order to move this forward? Is they need to have faith in God to heal this situation, but also faith in yourself, because you can't put it all up in the spiritual realm. It's going to take you making an effort, taking action, having faith in yourself, and in the fact that you can move towards healing, having faith just in general for your life. And for this, you know, again, taking action. Today I take action related to the priorities that I have previously put off. That includes getting our stuff together, having conversations, whatever it is. Have faith and take action, and also have hope. I trust that God has a wonderful solution and brilliant plans in store for me. Again, by releasing those old ways of being, by releasing your karma, releasing the pains of the past, you know, brilliant things will happen. You know, the universe has lots of stuff planned for you should you get it together. And giving and receiving. I balance being generous and receptive because both are equally important. Know that relationships are about equal give and take, not one take doing all the taking, one doing all the giving. And also you have to know that you have to give in order to receive. You have to open up. You got to let down your guard, let go of your fears. It's effort. Putting the effort, not waiting for someone else to. You got to do it. And for the feminine, what you need is peace. Quiet. I go into peaceful silence and I listen. So it's just kind of getting out of the stress and anxiety of the confusion and just try to be at peace. And we have here signs again. I watch for, notice, and trust the signs that heaven continuously sends. Again, know that we got to let other people do their own work. We have to allow other people to find their own light, to make their own efforts. Don't enable, don't pacify, don't look to heal. You know, follow this guidance, follow the signs. Just tend to your own stuff. And we have family. I pray for my family and give the solution over to God for answers, support, and healing. And then caring. Heaven cares for me, and I keep my heart open to caring about myself, others, and the world. So this is, again, about self-love. Care for yourself. Don't make yourself bananas, stressing and worrying and all about what this side is, you know. Let them come into their awareness. You take care of you and find some peace. And how the masculine sees the feminine. We have Halcyon. Halcyon. Now let us see what Halcyon says. How the masculine sees the feminine. I'm flying, I'm free, I'm out of the sea, enchanted with wings. What delivery this brings. Where once I felt sameness, displeasure, frustration, I'm now independent. What a grand transformation. Because the masculine obviously sees the feminine standing in her power, standing in her truth, standing in her independence. You know, again, if you were in a toxic situation, you had two people feeding each other's wound, feeding each other's karma, and one person broke free, and they're not falling for the same old manipulative tactics or the sweet, the avoidance, whatever was this side was doing that always kept this person stuck in the cycle. They're seeing that they've freed themselves from that they're not partaking in that anymore. And that's forcing again them to take a look at themselves and to grow. Some of them never will, but according to this reading, they can see that in you. An iridescent mermaid surrounds herself with a veritable rainbow of fluttering butterflies, dreaming that she too will one day gain the gift of flight. Divination message: a transformation will bring freedom. You are on the brink of a metamorphosis. Your life has become stagnant, but you have the tools to make positive changes, and now is the time to use them. You might face challenges along the way in the form of other people who are reluctant to accept your decisions, or as physical barriers that stand in your path. But be persistent. Like I said, even the fact that you're not allowing them to stay in their low vibration around you. Visualize who you wish to become and do not give up until you reach your goals. Antithesis: do not compromise yourself. You will soon feel pressure to make personal changes in your behavior, your attitudes, and maybe even your values. Resist the urge to alter yourself merely to please others. Stay true to who you are, even if doing so seems unpopular. That's why I said people respect you when you don't allow them to treat you like crap. When you don't allow them to when you don't allow them to treat you like the doormat. When you show that you're not taking no crap anymore, that you have self-love and self-respect and boundaries. Some people might not like that because, of course, they want to stay in their own wounding and they want to keep in that behavior and they want someone else to engage with them the same way that they was before in that karmic cycle, because that doesn't force them to look at themselves and to grow. It's, again, they're looking for enablers. So that might make them mad and upset or whatever, but I guarantee you that they'll respect you. They'll respect you because you're not allowing them. You're not allowing them to do what they were doing before. You're holding your own. As it should be. And how the feminine sees the masculine is mermaid with the black sea serpent. See? Cling to me with the desperation of a motherless child. I will give you all you need. Tell me your fears, and I will swallow them whole. Drink their essence, consume them with greed. Rely on me, and I will stay by your side, forever your pet, the only one. Lean on me, I will be your support, forever your crutch, your autonomy undone. Oof. You don't want to be somebody's crutch. Watch out for that. A desperate young mermaid clings to her dark pet. Yeah, because she sees the darkness. The masculine usually comes up as the dark-haired man, the person in their shadow self. So that's basically her holding on to the shadow masculine, saying, let me, but again, that's codependency. You can't heal somebody else. Don't take on somebody else's stuff. Don't be their crutch. A desperate young mermaid clings to her dark pet, uncertain of herself. She is afraid to let go, afraid to stand on her own 2 feet. Her reliance is unhealthy and draining, but addictive. So the feminine is seeing you as a person who is afraid to let go, afraid to stand on your own 2 feet, and it's unhealthy and draining and addictive. It's like codependency. Addictions are affecting your love life. She sees that the masculine is still stuck in his stuff. Uncertain of themselves, again, lacking the courage, lacking the confidence, but that again stems from childhood. Divination meaning cultivate your self-love. She's telling you to learn to love yourself. You have spent too much time seeking out approval and love from others. You cling to relationships long after they have lost their vitality and value to you, which means you're just in it for voids and needs. Start to cultivate your self-love and rebuild your self-worth before you proceed any further in your relationships, your profession, and your real life. Your inability to let go and stand on your own is detrimental to your personal growth. Take inventory of your strengths and weaknesses. Learn to love and make use of your competencies and Ameliorate your shortcomings. Speak to yourself as you would speak to a beloved child, not with the deriding, hypocritical voice we reserve only for ourselves. Embrace yourself and let go of anyone and anything that prevents you from standing on your own 2 feet. It says she wants you to be empowered. She wants you to get out of your karma, out of your wounding. She wants you to heal, but not at the sake of her being sucked back in and losing her own stuff. She wants you to fight the fight for yourself. There's an antithesis here. It's called share the love, but I don't think that this really fits. But it says your self-love is preventing you from truly loving others. How often do you put yourself first and foremost in any arena? Well, I guess so. If you're doing stuff for self-serving, agendas, then that's, I'm going to say your self-love is preventing you. I think that's still a lack of self-love because you're using others for a specific reason. This tendency is keeping you from truly getting to know the significant people in your life and developing deeper relationships with them. Allow yourself to be vulnerable, to be fallible, and you will gain much more than you ever had when you were solely focused inwards. That's again in that self-protective way, not letting people in, fearing love, wearing masks, entering into shallow relationships, again, just to have needs met and voids filled, not for real love, because you're afraid of real love, because that would mean that you'd have to be vulnerable and open and risk getting hurt. It's a need for trying to control one's environment, because again, in childhood, you didn't have that control. You didn't feel the love. So again, you were hurt by that, by the 2 people that should have given you that as a kid. So again, this stuff, I'm telling you. The feminine sees your struggle, dear masculine, and she's trying to help you see it so that you can heal yourself. Not that this side still doesn't have their own stuff to deal with, but she sees a lot more than you're seeing. But I think the masculine is starting to. Now we have the Rumi Oracle. The advice for you both is commitment. So let us see. Gosh, this is an hour too. I didn't want it to be an hour. But anyway, the awakened heart is like a lantern. Keep it sheltered from the turbulence of the winds of desire. We are candles lit by the one great flame. The breath of life does not extinguish us. On the contrary, it only serves our flame to blaze higher. Here in the temple of one love, there is no flickering or smoke to our flame. We are natural in our own purpose, simply to bring the warmth and light of love to life. We dance, though we are stillness. We are on fire, though we do not burn. There is a flame that must be safeguarded. In truth, it can never be extinguished. It is the light that never goes out. Reminds me of this song. Even with such enduring power, our recognition and respect of this flame is essential to human development. This flame is holy and lies within each human heart. When the flame is recognized for its worth, it ceases to flicker and smoke, becoming very still. In the stillness, the light can fulfill its destiny to shine brightly so as to reveal every path absolutely clear and without wavering in the fluctuations of fear and attachment. Desire does not have to be a hindrance on the path. It can show us our passions and help us find our purpose. However, the attachment that can come with desire, the belief that it can be sated only with one particular person, one set of circumstances, can cause us to stop looking at what the light is revealing to us, the way forward on our path in the here and now, and instead try to forcibly conjure the shadows to become what we imagine they should be. When we stop seeing life as it is, showing up for us every moment and engaging with it as it is, we can become careless with the light of the heart. Our huffing and puffing to force what does not need to be forced can cause the heart light to flicker and waver. This can make our way seem uncertain, and doubts can crowd in upon us as the light is compromised in its purpose. We forget to trust in what is because we get caught up in the attachment and fear surrounding our desires. Rather than letting life move us, we try to move life. There is a way forward on your life path that needs to be seen by you now. It will be helpful for you to have that clarity and that certainty. You might have already caught a glimpse of it, but be doubting your vision or yourself. This oracle comes as a reminder to you Don't doubt. That's why they say no. Look for a sign. What you are feeling deep within the passionate love of your heart light is true. It is real. You are being led into it by the progress of life itself. You must trust in this, even if it seems at times as though you are being led away from the vision. Life operates according to a genius that is beyond a linear approach. It is to be trusted rather than understood. There is enough challenge in the personal transformation being asked of you to simply take the steps. That is more than enough. You do not have to also create or control the terrain, nor determine the map for the journey. You simply need to take each step that presents itself to you in each moment. Don't let fear that your desire won't manifest cause you to try to bend life to your will. It is an unnecessary battle and one that will not serve your soul here. Instead, just show up, be present. Attend to what is before you in each moment and trust yourself. Let the light of your heart take you into serenity that will bring you the balm of a solid core of comfort, even whilst the world shifts and changes according to the workings of divine will. As you move along your life journey, step by step, that divine will is moving you to shining one into fulfillment of your destiny. Life is not working at cross purposes with you, far from it. It is a co-conspirator, sorry, with your heart. Come back to the stillness of the love within and know your heart light to be what it is, reliable and true, showing you the way even now in peace and stillness. And on that note, my lovelies, I send you love and light and healing and luck in regards to this and anything else you might be going through. Please like, subscribe, and share if you haven't already. And please check out the video called Saturday Satsang that I've uploaded onto the channel. I would like to gather questions from people and hold different topics for discussion the second and fourth week of every month. And I like to end it all with a centering thought, or a positive affirmation, and a little bit of a meditation. So please do send in your questions. You can do that on the About Me page. In the business inquiries, you can shoot me an email. You can leave it in the comments. There's lots of ways, but please include them within the next week or so that I can get everything organized for the first meeting. So until next time, take care. Bye-bye.